Well, I think I got a nice focus picture here, and it's early morning by now on the 24th of the supermoon overnight. I thought I'd come out and grab some midnight pictures, and the humidity in the air is making it hard to get a good focus. However, I am enjoying the naked eye view, of course, and this is zoomed in at about 23, 24. I can, oh no, it's more like 40, sorry. There's 33. It's where it tends to want to stay focused at as it moves across my view here. And just wanted to let you know that my channel will be taking a more scientific slant. Oops, excuse me. Talk about slant there. And as I'm able to travel more. Zoom in to 45. See, as I'm talking about the focus and how bright it is. There's in the high 30s. This is about where it likes it tonight. And I believe that we do have some major upcoming solar events to prepare for and to study with great interest. It's pretty windy here tonight. There's about a 20 plus mile an hour wind, and I noticed one of my trees needs some repair done to it due to the high winds we had from a storm a few nights ago, and just recently discovered it. So weather is really important, whether you're on Earth or in space. And I like to study the space weather because I know that that directly affects the weather here on Earth. And the way I believe it does that is, of course, through temperature. And the temperature variances that come at us from the sun during certain solar cycles and solar events, like CMEs, can bring hot and cool weather, with the cool weather behind the wake, like a wave. So that's why we get those weather extremes. I believe that through the manipulation of the ionosphere is where we get the thinning of the thermosphere, and that's what allows these meteorites to make it through, because they don't burn up. When you manipulate and expand the ionosphere and you thin out the thermosphere, the really hot part of our atmosphere, that allows space debris not to burn up as quickly. And most of it does still, but I think that's what is behind a lot of these recent sightings of fireballs. So just a little info there. You want to mess around with all the HARPs and TTAs and space technology of that nature, like when they want to point it at the sun. That's a little hint out there for some of those people that are in the know about man's manipulation of the sun. I believe it's there. We have satellites that are out there doing something. They're monitoring mostly. But I bet you there's been some experiments since they've learned about the force of gravity. And, well, excuse me folks, the sun's all about that gravity. And about holding in its magnetic and energy potential in through gravity and magnetics. So there's a little piece of what we could be discussing in the future when it comes to space weather and Earth weather. We got the Earth magnetics and the sun magnetics and that influence, and it carries those currents along with its Earth footprint on the sun, Earth facing ejecta, things of that nature. And I think it's going to become more and more important, as I think there's actually some changes going on in our sun, as there is changes going on through our whole solar system. So keep tuned, and there you go, some more of the supermoon tonight. No, it just looks like one big bright disk, but that's what's great about this moon, is how bright it is. So bright that it's hard to even capture with photography here. And beautiful as it is. I'll zoom all the way out to give you a good idea about what I'm trying to get at. See how bright that is? And I'm just using a handy cam right now. Nothing special. So there you go, folks. Well, have a good evening.